Hey Wilton. I've finally finished the Ricky piece, but I do want to make some changes to the score. Not on the playing side of things, just some changes to how I wrote it down. For a start, I wrote it in 4/4, but it needs to be in twos really. Da da da, 1 dum, da da da, dum, 2, 1, 2. There's really two beats to the bar. So I'll need to work out how to change the time signature to 2/2 rather than 4/4. There is a way, that I understand. You click on the time signature and then it offers you all the time signatures, and you click on the one you want. But it's not allowing me to include the first bar, the first measure, which is half a measure really. So that's one change I want to make. So there's, I've worked out the tempo of it is around about 108 beats per minute. So that's shown as 108 quarters, but it should be 108 halves. So I'll just go through it quickly. I think that's pretty much the main change I wanted to make. The other one is that there's such a lot of music. There's such a lot of music in it. I couldn't get it on anything less than 6 pages, so that's no good for your music stand, obviously. So I'm going to, with the new software, I haven't quite worked out how to do a notation only and a tab only. Now, obviously, if I do both of those things, that will be on 3 pages, which will fit on your music stand okay. But for the time being, it's on 6 pages. So if you're going to spend some time relearning that, then you've got 6 pages to contend with, unfortunately, until I can get back from my sisters and work out how that's done. I've rather run out of time today. We're going out to dinner tonight. It's 20 minutes to 6 here. So presently we'll be going out to eat, and wine may be taken. So once that's the case, then I don't really want to be trusted to work on anything tricky on the laptop such as this. So I'll just have to try and condense it into 3 pages in a few days' time. I'm not going to play it all the way through. I'm really just doing this as an explanatory video, really, just to talk about 1 or 2 options and things where I had traces of doubt about what you meant. Anyway, great piece and an awful lot of music in it, and you played it a really brisk tempo, which I won't replicate here. I mean, as I said, the purpose of this is to sort of as a walkthrough, so I won't rock it through it in the way that you did. Okay, so your first shape is a C, isn't it? That's the first couple of bars, all based around that C shape, and then you've got this kind of F sharp in the bass there with the 2 and the 1. It's kind of like an inversion of D7. So you've got this obviously Chet Atkins alternating thumb going on throughout, with the syncopated melody over the top of that. And then you've got that shape with an F natural in the bass. Same rhythmic pattern, same thumb alternating between the 6th string and the 4th string on every beat. Bar 6. Then you're on to a G7. That was bars 7 and 8 there. Onto an A minor. Now, bar 10. I think your bass, you did this differently in different places. Sometimes you did, however, on this occasion in bar 10, I think I'm not sure if you meant to hit that 4th string or not, but you just played the root note in the bass and left it ringing. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's how I've represented it on the score. That's bar 10. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Still A minor. That's bars 11 and 12 with the A minor. Then you've got this kind of F major 7 to G. And in bar 15, A minor again. A minor. So that's the third line. Then you're moving up to third position. Your first finger is sliding up, is it? And you're building that C7 shape after. This is bar 17 now, the fourth line of the first page. All of that is done with the chord shape in place. And then you're not playing all that many notes in bar 18. You're just moving the shape up, which you kind of made. You played that as a staccato type. Whoops. Bar 17, and then you've got your pick up again. Good. So same material as you've had earlier on there. That ends at sort of at the beginning of bar 24 on that. Those two A's. Let's do that again. Bar 17. Da, da, and that's your pick up there for the start of bar 25. Sorry, bar 25. All over the A minor, onto a G. Bar 23 to 45, bar 27 this is. Sorry. And back to A minor. You sort of introduce that D into the bass there. That's the last beat on the page there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Works perfectly fine musically. Page 2 now, bar 29. A minor, bar 31, G again. Back to A minor. Then you've got this C7 shape again. We saw that in the third position to make a D7 shape. But you've brought it up to sixth position now. And you change the bass note halfway through, which is a very Chet thing to do. And then down a position. This is bar 34. And I think that random D natural at the end of the bar, the open fourth string, was really to facilitate the change of position, the change of chord shape. At the tempo, I'm not doing anything like the tempo you did it. I'd have to get a lot more familiar with it first before I could attempt that really. So I'm kind of doing it about 3/4 tempo. Anyway, so that's that sixth position shape. Sorry. And there's that D there, which, as I said, I'm interpreting that as a way of facilitating the movement from up here down to your open position of A minor again. That's bar 40. And then you've got the D7 in third position again, which is the C7 shape, isn't it? That's bar 41. That's the same. And then A minor again, bar 43. You've got the two open strings at the end of bar 44 there, which they work perfectly well musically, but I'm pretty sure you played them to keep the movement going. They're not part of a chord that you're holding down, although they do work fine, but that just enables you to get back up into a decent position for bar 45 in this this D7 inversion. And then you're up to E7 again, so you're up, same chord shape in 5th position. We're staccato in that a little bit. I didn't put staccato markings on the score, but it's followed by a rest, so you know how to play it. Bar 47. And there's your pick up again for the A minor theme. Bar 49. That's that A minor 7, sorry, A minor, F major 7, G, back to A minor again. So that's the chord progression that sort of permeates this. This is the bottom line again, page bar 49. That's the end of page 2. Again, these familiar, this sort of group of chord shapes are coming back that we've seen before. Material. Bar 63 sees the return of that D7 inversion. Sorry. And there's that open D string again at the end of bar 64. Again, just to make that movement down to the open A minor in bar 65 a little easier. Moving that same position up again with bar 69 now. That we've seen before. I was in two minds as to whether to show some of these as repeated sections, but there were a couple of occasions where you didn't repeat the whole phrase. You repeated a bit of it and then changed it. In any case, you never did it exactly the same in any 2 times. So you know, it's one continuous score. There's no repeat marks or da capos, which would have made the score shorter, but you know, in some ways tougher to read. But as I said, I'll get that sort of condensed into 3 pages of notation. I think you prefer to read tab, don't you, rather than, I might be wrong. I've never asked you this, but in any case, I'll sort of work out when I get back in a few days how to split that into a notation only score and a tab only score, and there'll be 2 scores of 3 pages then. Much easier. I think we're around about bar 77 on that second to bottom line. Open D at the end of bar 84, again just to facilitate the movement up to the 5th position. You've got a bar chord there. Let's look at what that chord is. It looks like a D7. Sorry, it's a D minor 7 there, sorry. Now if you were looking for a substitute there for a bar chord, I think if you just make the D shape in fret 5 and just do the same picking pattern, let's compare them as against. It's a slightly different order of notes. It changes it just a tiny bit, but it gives you the same harmony and the same movement. So that's an option. That's just the D shape in position. You know, those notes give you a D minor 7. There's hardly any difference. So if you were looking for a non-barred substitute for that chord, there it is. But as it's written, and then you've got a bar G, or G7 rather, and then you've got this again open D string at the end to, you know, as you move into the C shape after that. So on the bottom line of page 3, oops, and that moves into the C, or if you prefer an unbar shape. And then you just do we want a G7 there, don't we? So you'd probably want your F in there. Oops, there it is, sorry. See, there's barely any difference. 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. So they're your alternatives for the 2 bar positions that you've got. Again, I'll just go over that again. Bar 85 and 86. Or something like that. Last bar of the page. Again, you've got another loose D at the end. This is all fine. It's better than it not being there. That's the best option, Weldon, what you did there. If you tried to keep your chord held down and get that last note and then rapidly move up to the 5th position or the 7th position, that's asking for trouble, really. And if you didn't put any note in there at all, you'd sacrifice the movement. You know, that Chet Atkins stuff, it just relies on movement, doesn't it, all the way through. And you've got to have that movement there. You've got to have something in that. You can't really leave gaps. So you did the best option there, really. Anyway, last bar of the page. Sorry. There's that open D at the end. Page 4, bar 88, A minor. And again, a couple of open strings at the end while you then got up to repeat of that. You'll notice that there isn't a double note at the top of the texture there, because I don't think you played it. You held the chord down, but I don't think you played that 2nd string, so I haven't included it. But if you intended to play it, or you want to play it, then, you know, just do a repeat of what happened 4 bars before. Anyway, bar 88. Open D again. Slightly different melody there. It's bar 91. And it comes to a nice little stop there. I'm saying you don't want gaps in it. Every piece benefits from being allowed to breathe. And it comes to a nice close there, so that's appropriate. 2, 3, 4, D minor 7. So that's a little partial bar, isn't it? I know you don't have any problem with that. Over 2 strings, bar 93. To G7, so it's the 2 3rd fret notes. And again, it comes to a close after that 4 bar phrase as well. Bar 93. That wasn't terribly clear on the video, but I think what you've done there is you're kind of in C at that point. You've got a 2, 5, 7, 1 standard progression there. D minor 7, chord 2, G7, chord 5, which is chord 5. It's a C, so you've got a full close in C there. But then the next bit is in A minor, isn't it? Which we've done. Now your link between those two is quite obviously the dominant of A minor, which is E, which you've done a version of. I think you might have hit a wrong note, forgive me for saying so, I can't be sure, but this is what I think you planned. D minor 7, which is the right chord. open D at the end. Oh, that was pretty much material that we've had before. And again, I know you're laughing at me over there in Arizona for doing it at such a slow tempo because you've rattled through it, but I can read it at that speed. I'd have to practice it up good and proper to I think you were doing it more of a I think that was more your tempo, but it's sort of driving along like a train really. But this isn't a performance of it, as I keep explaining. It's a walkthrough. That's great playing though. Bottom line. Right, okay, you've got some different material. This is bar 111. You've got that B flat in there, very ragtimey. To have a look at that. I think I might have got the rhythm of that top line wrong. I'll investigate that. I think it should be, but I've written it as measure alternating bass again. That's all the same thing, isn't it, with the G with the B flat in it. Your C7 going on. Let's look for an alternative there if you want it. I think it would be that. It would be the C and the B flat. You need the E, which you've got on string 2 on the score. But if you do that as an open string, and then your G on the second beat, instead of a 5th fret note which you'd have with your bar, do it as an open string. So you've got the same, you know, instead of that, we've kind of got yeah, same shape, not different shape but same chord. So that's a C7 to C minor 7 there. This is the last bar of page 4. The open strings to make the next chord change easier. So that's C minor 7. It would just be that really. From the high string fret 3, second string fret 4, and with your first finger the bass C. So it's the same chord but without a bar there. I'll just go over that again. Or non-barred. Sorry. We need a B flat in there, don't we? Yeah, those two shapes. Right, we're getting there. Page 5. You're back to your G chord with this is bar 117. Slightly different harmony now. You've got the first inversion D chord, so your F sharp is in the bass. This is bar 119 to D7. You've got that nice little 6 in there, that full string E, that's lovely. Top of the page. Sorry. Same again. I'm not sure what fingers to use here actually. Probably that might be the best option. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. Finger 2, 3, 4 is probably what you did. And there's your bar C7 again. We've discussed alternatives for that. But then you go back up to get the high B flat there. Loose D at the end. So that's that shape. I think there you could probably, if you're looking for an alternative to the to the bar position. First finger on the C, pinky on the B flat up there. And your second beat, this is bar 128, your second beat is a G, so rather than, you know, that being offered as part of the bar chord, the open string, oops, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's all stuff you've done. I think that was what you played. This is bar 133 now. In this style of music, there's not usually too many notes played together, but I think you did do, normally it's, you know, the bass is on the beat, isn't it, and the melody is between all the beats, so it's, you know, not often are there notes played together, apart from the first beat of the bar maybe. So that's what I think I've got for bar 133 and 134. 134. Well, fingers 2, 3, 4 again. Oh no, because there's no B flat in it. Bar 135. So probably those fingers. It's G7. There's your barred C7 again there. And there's your 137. Again, you know what the option is by now for that non-barred C7. And there's your C minor 7 there. Open strings. This is great. Again, you've got that double stop there in bar 141. That sounds like it's preparing your A minor again. Page 6. That's all material that's already happened. Now bar 160, on some occasions you did this, but on that occasion, I don't know if you planned it or not, you allow that A to rest and you don't play a note on beat 2. So bar 159, 2. Got a slightly different rhythm going on in bar 161. You didn't play a note on beat 4, so again I'm not sure if you planned that. 162. So that's a repeated shape, and then to finish, and then I'm pretty sure I heard these chords. So that's 2, nothing, 0, 2, 1. I wanted to play that with a D sharp in it. It's a bit of a handful of a chord, but I don't think that's what you played. At first that was what I thought you did. You didn't do it as a bar chord, you fingered each note separately, but I thought that was what you did. But on closer inspection, I think that was a in that not the final chord but the one before it, I think that was a 1, 0, 2, 1. So and that's it. Right, this has ended up being quite a long video, but I hope you've got enough there to do a relearn, Weldon, and if I can make those changes, as I said, I'll condense it to a tab only and a notation only, and I'll try and get the thing written correctly as 2 beats in a bar instead of 4, but you've got enough there to go on with. I think you may see an error here and there, so just let me know and I'll change it. I've still got to sort out heading home. You said, I think you said I repeated 2 bars or something, so I'll have to have a look at that now. But I hope you can have some fun with that one. There's a lot of music in that. There really is. So good luck with that, and when I get back, I'll endeavour to get that up to speed. As I say, the speed I was playing at, I could read it, but I couldn't really play that at the full tempo and read it. I'll have to kind of learn it and so on. Yeah, so we're off out to dinner in a bit, and I'll have a glass of wine or 2 with my dinner, which would be nice. And then in the morning I'll get down to Weymouth, which is on the south coast, sort of southwest. She lives right on the coast actually, which is quite nice. She's got a nice bungalow there, and she looks right out onto the sea, which is quite lovely. But yeah, poor sister lost her son there about 18 months ago, so I'd like to get down there and give her a bit of support. She finds it very, very difficult to carry on. It's very sad. So I'll be there. I'll come back Wednesday. I think I'll stay there Wednesday during the day and come back, travel back in the evening, because it's you know, the traffic is a bit more favourable. So I'll probably travel between about 7 and 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday, and then back for a couple of days, and then off to Broadstairs Folk Week with the new tent and all of that. Anyway, I'll get off because this is quite a long video, but have a great day, and let me know your thoughts on that score, and there'll be more over the rest of the summer, of course. Okay, well, have a good weekend.